What's up guys, Eternal here. It's been a while since I made a new Team of the Week video, so I'm going to be sharing one of my favorite teams that I made just recently. It's been working really well, winning me a lot of battles efficiently. It's a hyper offensive team, and let's start. So I'm going to start off with Azelf. Now this is a remake of the old suicidal Azelf in Gen 4 if you guys remember. What makes this Azelf very special is that I'm using the item Normal Gem. Now with Normal Gem and Explosion, it makes Azelf a very potent suicide lead, unlike other exploders this generation, since the power of explosion has decreased by half, as it no longer decreases your opponent's Pokemon's defense in half. So normal gem kinda makes up for it, as it increases your explosion's power by 50%, which is not bad. But nonetheless, this makes Azelf a very potent suicidal lead. So with explosion, I'm going to enhance it with taunt, of course, to nullify other leads of setting up their stealth rock. As you guys know, Gen 5 does not have leads. Nonetheless, Azelf still serves as a very uh, good lead, as you can most often lead off with Azelf and just quickly go for the stealth rock right here. And that stealth rock will be able to allow you to easily cripple your opponent's Pokemon while pressuring them into with your other offensive Pokemon. Now, what makes this offensive team so great is that its ability to pressure your opponent into switching a lot. And in order to do that, I'm going to add U-turners and Volt Switchers into this team, along with priority attackers. So this offensive team basically specializes in Volt Switching and U-turning and priority attacking. So Azelf is gonna have U-turn to U-turn out, and we're gonna make it jolly nature, since all its attacks are physical, explosion and U-turn. And I do want to maximize explosion's power, so I'm gonna give it 252 attack EVs, and I do want to make it into I do want to give it max speed so it can outspeed threats such as Latios and Latias. And yeah, so we're done with Azelf. And the rest of the four EVs, I'll give it to its defense. So next, we're gonna go with Rotom Wash as a Volt Switcher, and we're gonna use the standard leftovers, uh, somewhat bulky and very offensive Rotom Wash. We're gonna make it max special attack, so it does really well against rain teams, as rain will power up its Hydro Pump, and Volt Switch it will allow it to escape from threats and pressure your opponent into switching a lot. So we're gonna give it Volt Switch. For speed, we're gonna go with enough speed to outspeed standard uh, base 100 Pokemon at minimum speeds, Jolly Tyranitar, Adamant, Breloom, Pokemon like that. And we're gonna go with the rest of the EVs on bulk HP. And of course, we're gonna give it Will-O-Wisps to cripple physical attackers, allowing much of your sweepers to sweep more efficiently. And Pain Split, of course, for some sort of recovery for Rotom-Mush, as it does really great with Pain Split. It's one of the best Pain Splitters in the game, next to Gengar. And next we're gonna go with Scizor, our U-turner, the common choice band set. We're gonna give it 12 EVs to outspeed the common Scizor choice band sets. And the rest on attack, max attack, and HP. Obviously, we're gonna go with U-turn, and we want priority. This team specializes in priority, taking advantage of fast offensive Pokemons, as well as U-turning against those stallish teams that love to stall you. But you can pressure them into U-turning and going into your vaults, Rotom-Wash to Vault Switch all day, and just sweep with the rest of the hyper offensive team, as you will see. So the next attack, we're going to go with Quick Attack instead of Pursuit, since Quick Attack is going to be very useful against Pokemon like, let's say, Volcarona, which resists Bullet Punch, as well as other threats like Starmie. Yeah, those, it's going to be useful against those, and Infernape, of course. And the last move, we're going to go with Superpower, because we don't want Magnezones getting free switch-ins on Scizor all day, or other Pokemon that are weak, most Steel types that are resistant to U-turn, like Heatran, for example. Next, we're gonna go with Celebi. Now, why Celebi? Because Celebi is able to U-turn, which is cool. And not only that, Celebi has Natural Cure, making it the best, possibly the best Pokemon to take on against Rotom-Wash next to Roserade, since it's able to shed off that burn while having priority recovery with great bulk. But instead of giving this Celebi bulk, we're gonna make it offensive. We're gonna give it leftovers, because we want it to sustain moves from like Rotom-Wash, take the Volt Switch, recover some nice HP, and blast Pokemon off with Modest Nature, 252 EVs in special attack, and Leaf Storm, doing hell of a lot of damage. And with Hidden Power Fire, no Choice Banded Scizor is gonna come in safely to U-turn on you or anything. So we're going with HP Fire, as well as other Steel types like Skarmory that would love to come in on Leaf Storm or U-turn. So that's great. And we're going to go with enough speed to outspeed Adamant Lucario, which is 280 speed. So Lucario is not going to have a field day trying to set up on any of my Pokemon, as I will disallow it of doing that. And speaking of Lucario, we're gonna go with Lucario. Lucario is my favorite member of this team, just because it's so efficient in sweeping teams quite easily. Life Orb, the standard Sword Stance sweeping Lucario set. We're gonna with Close Combat, Extreme Speed, Priority. This team specializes in priority so much. Inner Focus, you don't want Jirachis flinching you with their Iron Head. Nature, Adamant, of course, we want the most impact onto our physical defensive opponent's Pokemon. And Crunch, we don't want Jellicent walling you. And even though Gliscor stops this Lucario dead, you still have Rotom-Wash, Celebi, and all these U-turners to weaken the opposing Gliscor. Meaning once you weaken it, you can finish it off with your priority attackers, or your Rotom-Wash, which completely walls it, your Celebi, which can recover and Leaf Storm it all day. So Lucario is a very, very potent sweeper in this metagame right now. So you definitely want it to be your best late game sweeper. For early sweeping in the game, you want to use Dragonite. Dragonite is a great early game sweeper. It cripples a lot of teams quite easily, unless if you're against a team like a stall team like that specializes with Skarmory or Skarmbliss or something like that. Then what you want to do is first weaken the Steel types like the Ferrothorn, Skarmory, whatever. Not Ferrothorn, I'm sorry, Skarmory. First weaken it, and then deal some heavy damage with Dragonite, as it easily cripples many teams, and then you can just finish them off with the rest of your hyper-offensive Pokemon. So for the item, we're gonna go with the Lumberry. We don't want things like Chansey, a chance to cripple you with their Thunder Wave, or allow any Pokemon like Jellicent into Will-O-Wisping you and crippling you. We don't want any of that. So we're definitely gonna go with Lumberry. And multi-scale, of course, very important ability. Adamant nature, we want to maximize its attack, maximize its speed, and we're gonna go with, of course, Dragon Dance and Outrage. With Outrage and Lumberry, you're not gonna be confused after those 2 or 3 turns of outraging, which makes it an excellent sweeper with Outrage. With 403 attack stat, that's crazy, and 120 base Dragon type stab attack, and Dragon Dance, of course. And we're gonna go with Fire Punch. We don't want Steel types ruining your sweeping, and we want priority. Priority is very important in this team. Extreme speed, take down any fast sweepers trying to stop you from sweeping with your team. So priority is very important, as you can see. Extreme speed, Dragonite, extreme speed, Lucario, bullet punch, quick attack, Scizor, and U-turn Volt switchers. Azelf as your U-turner, Rotom-Wash is your Volt switcher, Scizor and Selby both U-turning. So this is a very cool team. It's been winning me a lot of battles. So yeah, try it out. It's really fun to use as well in this current metagame. So have fun playing with this team, and I'll see you guys around on the server. Peace out.